Welcome back, viewers at home, now to find out more on this amazing event, the Mask in the Mirror, which this event is for females of all ages, a space to reflect, connect, and grow. And it also encourages you to bring your sisters, your friends, your cousins, your daughters, and so much more, and many other people. And I think for more information around the event itself and just understanding more, I am joined by Naadira Chhipa, who is an esteemed author, life coach, and motivational speaker. Assalamu alaikum and jazakallah so much for joining us. Unfortunately, Nadira, we can't hear you because I believe your device currently is on mute. But inshallah, if you can just get us started in understanding on, the brief overview of what participants can expect during this event.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is that better?
Alhamdulillah, shukran, amazing. Jazakallah so much.
Jazakallah so much for having me on INX Prime. Yes, I was a bit late. There was a glitch in the matrix. So you know how technology it is with technology now. There's always like this glitch in the matrix. But yes, the mask in the mirror, that's what we're talking about today. Okay. So we are having on the 2nd of August the Mask in the Mirror. So the Mask in the Mirror is not just a workshop, it's an experience. It's an experience for every woman of all ages. And it's just, a day for us to reflect, for us to reconnect, and for us to unite as sisters, inshallah. I mean. So, yes, it is on the 2nd of August at Jimmy's Norwood in Johannesburg from 11:30 to 2:30, including a scrumptious lunch, goodie bags, tea treats. It's just going to be an amazing day of inspiration, reflection, and also introspection, inshallah.
And with that being said, are there any mechanism in place in ensuring that attendees have, or rather leave, feeling empowered and equipped to implement the lessons in their daily lives?
Gee, and that's what we want, sister. We want, people, all our sisters to come, to unite, to be there, to get the practical tools, everyday life challenges, the tools for everyday life challenges, because nobody knows what's in the heart, what challenges the heart, the mind, the soul faces daily for all our sisters. So the tools, practical tools, for example, giving them advice on how others have overcome their challenges in order for them not to feel so alone in their everyday challenges, but to unite us in that, what, we all go through some form of test, because if we didn't have tests in this world, then Jannah will lose its value. So,
Oh.
Alhamdulillah, we want to unite and get them to understand that in unity comes peace, comes happiness, and comes that sukoon from our heart, inshallah.
And with that being said, we know that the women are faced with a lot of, I don't want to say issues, but, controversial matters around society, expectations, and so much more. And I think this brings me to ask you, is there an example that you can provide myself and the viewers or potential attendees at home on how women can begin to dismantle the destructive nature of artificial standards imposed by society instead and rather start to, embrace seeing their true selves?
And identity crisis, we all face that at some point in our lives. So I encourage the youth to also attend. And when we say we have external factors like now with social media, with the world screaming at us to be someone else, we need to find out who we are. And how do we find that? We find that first in connection with your creator. Firstly, connecting with and to your creator, and then stillness. We find that today, when you mentioned, and it's such an interesting question, all the challenges that we face, that we rush, that sometimes we feel there's 24 hours, there's no time in the day. So I would say firstly and foremost, slow down. When we're taking that sip of water, feel that coolness in your throat. When you watch the sunrise, don't just watch it, experience it. When you're eating that morsel of food, appreciate it with all the taste and the flavors and savor that. So in that, I'm saying that in life's experience, you just go through life, through the stages, through the phases of life, but literally and really experience it, because that's what your creator wants from you and of you.
Now we know, Nadira, when you tell women that they need to experience the sun, they'll tell you the moment I just, experience the sun, a lot of things in my household tend to,
Yes.
collapse in that sense. I mean, we hear it when they say once I can't even get sick, because me getting sick means there's so much that is left undone. And I think I would, without asking too much from you and without taking away from the event itself, I'd like to ask, what is a small or yet a simple step that can be taken today and currently now in beginning that transformative process or journey?
Gee, one, I can give you such a small step that you think, how is this going to change, every day? But 5 minutes more on your musalla. After praying your salah, just 5 minutes after you're making your dua, just slow down and just connect with yourself, connect with your creator. Because we have expectations of this world, we have expectations from relationships, from children, from every aspect of our lives. But remember something, the only expectation we should have is from our creator and of our
Yeah.
creator. So I'm going to say a small tip is 5 minutes on your musalla after every salah. Another tip would be that when you wake up in the morning and before you sleep, just three things you are grateful. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, for three things within yourself. And that creates an identity that's unshakable, inshallah.
Inshallah. And I liked how earlier on you mentioned that a lot of these things that are putting so much pressure on women are quite, external. But with them being external, we can, in some way, internalize them and have them define us, shape us, and sort of, in that way, direct us in that way. Can you just give us a practical tool that women can use to rebuilding their self-esteem in a healthy, sustainable way that allows them to be fueled by things that are quite essential to them versus what's popular or what's trendy or acceptable?
Yes, as I said, in a world full of trends, we're trying to find ourselves. In a world where someone is saying, eat this, or drink this, or do this, and do that, and then we're trying to find what works for us.
Yeah.
Really, and in terms of popularity, that's such a good question. Find your purpose. That's it. The purpose, each one of us has his purpose. And the purpose, when you find your drive, when you find your purpose, and normally, and I would say essentially, it is in assisting others, in uplifting others, is in being there and healing others. That's when you find it. And that purpose, when you find your own purpose in this world, alhamdulillah, that is a gift from Allah as well. So it's not about the glory, it's not about the fame, it's not about the popularity, because your purpose is something that leaves a legacy even after you have passed on from this temporary world. That purpose will live on in your legacy, inshallah.
Hmm. Now, looking at the title of the event, The Mask in the Mirror. And for others, they can take it as, being a hypocrite or
Mm-hmm.
two-faced. And there's so many narratives
Mm-hmm.
that can come out just from the title. And I think I want to take it from an approach of, there's so many hats that women tend to wear, and there's so many things that they need to find themselves doing and preparing for. And this makes me want to ask the importance of personal growth and identity development, specifically before entering a marriage, because we know that when you are living alone, you're all about caring for yourself and nothing else. But the moment you enter into this union, being marriage, it's no longer about I. There's a whole, we are now French speakers. It's like we. How does one now get to become that person or develop that persona?
Yes, and I always say marriage is the second scoop of ice cream. It's not the first. The first scoop comes from you. So if you're walking around with an empty cone and saying, you know what, marriage is going to fulfill me, or I'm going to rescue this person, or I can change this person, or I am going to now heal this person that I'm marrying and save them from themselves, the only person you can is you. So my advice would be, before getting married, premarital counseling is so important, especially alone also. Before getting married, go to therapy, unpack your condition, unpack your trauma, unpack things that are holding you back, because the only person you can change is yourself. And marriage is a reflection of you and who you are.
Amazing. I love it. I really love it. It's taking that extra scoop, which we all love, having that extra
Yes.
scoop. But with that being said, how can women then, go about ensuring that they're not losing themselves in the process of being these perfect, daughter-in-laws, mothers, if not wives?
Correct. And I always say this in all my workshops, that fill your own cup, because pouring out of an empty cup, what are we pouring? Our kids need us, our husbands, our spouses need us, our in-laws, our parents, our siblings, our family, our friends, the community as well. So what are you pouring out? It's what you fill into your cup. So if you're filling your days with, firstly and foremost, your relationship with your creator, and then again, filling your cup with what you love doing, with your purpose. The oxygen mask, as we say in the plate, the oxygen mask, you got to put it on to your, to you first, and then obviously helping the next person. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same. You got to help yourself in order to help others. fill your cup with joy, with happiness, with patience, it's so much of overflow of love that all your relationships will then flourish from that.
Amazing. And another reminder, it says, Allah help those who help themselves. And I think this
Yes,
is something that we
correct.
all need to sort of remember at that. And just looking into the workshop, this beautiful workshop, that you're even encouraging all the ladies to bring their cousins, their sisters, and
Yes.
everything, every female they can think of. Can you tell us a bit on the details in terms of how much does it cost? I know you did briefly mention it earlier on. And what do you envision for the women who will be attending the workshop and getting out of it?
Okay, so firstly, we have the most amazing speakers. We have Tasneem Basha, we have Yasmin from Cover Magazine, we have Paisley, who is Zakia, we have Dr. Farima, we have Nadia from Fab Functions. We have the most amazing speakers sharing their experiences and their wisdom, as along with myself. We have a day that I would say you bring, you mentioned, bring your girl gang, bring all the ladies that you know. It's a day to unite hearts, to unite souls, and for us to take away inspiration, empowerment, and for also for us to understand that our Creator didn't create us to shrink, but rather to shine. So this is happening on the 2nd of August, Germany's Norwood. The price of the ticket is 370. We also have Africa Muslim Agency and many medicals who are our charity organization we have collaborated with, inshallah.
Inshallah. And Jazakallah so much, Nadira, for really joining us and giving us insight on, the potential of a woman, what lies ahead for them and what actually exists in this world for them. And hopefully all the attendees that come there are really leaving there feeling fulfilled, and hopefully they will be attending this event. But Jazakallah so much for giving us the insight.
Jazakallah so much for having me, and I hope to see all the ladies from Johannesburg at this event. And I'm so looking forward to meeting you. Remember, you are amazing just the way you are.
Amazing. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah so much. That was Naadira Chhipa, who was telling us on the event titled The Mask in the Mirror. And it is definitely encouraging you to say, bring your sister, bring your cousin, bring your daughter in law, bring your mother in law, and so much more, and get to benefit from this amazing workshop. But for now, let's head over to a net break. We'll see you just after this.